Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Amanda with Sugar Bees Gifts Decor and More. Coming to you today with a little, I guess we'll call it a review. A little insight on what I use for my point of sale system. So just to backtrack a little bit here, for a while, I started out with a accounting software called Wave. Wave is a free service. I don't recommend it. I don't not recommend it. I mean, it's okay for a free service. When I took my paperwork to my accountant to do my taxes last year, there was a lot of features that it was not capable of. So when you attempt to look for some accounts, they either weren't, the program didn't have the capability to assign a particular chart of accounts, and they weren't easy to maneuver through. It was very complicated for her. So the 1st of 2019, I decided I'm going to switch over to QuickBooks. It's something I was already familiar with, and most of the accountants, know how to work with it. So from that point, usually the process was I would take paper invoices. I use a contractor style 2-part invoice. I was using those just to basically jot down information when I'm taking an order from a customer. Well, that's great and fine if I have a customer with a very large order that I need to have a lot of details on. And then I would just in turn take that and then put it in QuickBooks. So there's an invoice there that I can take a payment against. Or if I'm doing an invoice, through like say Facebook or email or phone or something, I could take that invoice within QuickBooks and just email it to them. So that was great. But then those customers that for one aren't comfortable paying online or prefer to pay me in person, wasting that paper was one thing. It was, kind of worthless for a couple of things. It was just a waste. And then 2, if I wanted to, create an invoice while they were here, there's a lot of steps involved to type all that information in here. And most of my customers are just dropping by after work, or they're just trying to get in and out quick so they can get, back to, their life. So spending, 10, 15 minutes, creating that invoice, it was just a pain for me because, I kind of want to get them in and get them out, not rush them, but, be efficient. So that wasn't working. So the next thing I started doing was shopping for POS systems. If you haven't already shopped for one, good God, they are ridiculously priced. So the first thing I did was reached out to a company called ShopKeep. ShopKeep looked very familiar to me. When I managed a boutique, we used Clover, which it's a it's you use an iPad for it. It comes with a what do you call it? A receipt printer. It comes with a cash drawer and all that. So I was like, dude, this is looking really familiar to me. And coming to find out, they get their equipment from Clover. So I was like, okay, I was looking for something to lease, because things upgrade pretty quickly in the electronic world. And I knew, eventually this thing is going to be dated and I'm going to want to, switch up, and I don't want to have to buy all this stuff over again. So I was looking for a lease. Well, that was a no-go. They did not offer a lease. And the cheapest piece of equipment they offered was, oh my goodness. What was I doing? Oh, a card swipe. And it was $60. I was like, no. And plus, to use their software, I was going to have to buy a whole brand new iPad. I'm like, I don't know. Well, the iPad that I have now was only used for like Square and stuff like that. I am not going out and buying a new iPad just to use as a register. And look, we're all balling on a budget. Well, most of us are. I'm balling on a budget. I'm like, I'm not doing it. So I reached out to a couple more companies. The last one I spoke with, I was just done. I had just given up. I was like, I'll just keep on using QuickBooks. It'll be fine. I was like, well, I can go back to, using Square, which at the first of the year I decided I'm using too many different programs to take payments. I was using Cash App, PayPal, Square, and QuickBooks. I was like, no, we've got to simplify this, because when I go to reconcile and turn all my statements in to my accountant, that is a lot. It's too much. So I was like, well, I'll go back to using Square, because they have a point of sale that can be used either mobile or on your desktop or on my laptop. So, but something told me, I was like, I'm going to call QuickBooks. I'm going to see what they say. So it was very hard to determine whether or not they had a point of sale system or not. Well, it turns out they did. Then I couldn't find a price on it. So it's another one of those situations you have to submit your information, and then they'll contact you to talk to you about it. So I did that. Well, they sent me an email saying they got it and somebody will be in touch with me. Well, a couple of days later, I still hadn't heard anything. I'm like, my busy season's coming up to where a lot of people are in and out. A lot of people. So I was like, I've got to get something done. So I finally just said, I'm going to call QuickBooks. So I did. And they had assigned me to a salesperson. So she's giving me the rundown of everything. She's giving me the whole spiel. I'm like, okay, well, my question is, I have to ask how much stuff costs up front. I just can't jump into something blindly not knowing how much it's going to cost. $1,200. 12. That is just for the software. Nothing else. No tablet, no cash drawer, no receipt printer, no card reader, no nothing. That was just for their point of sale software. That, my friends, to me is ridiculous. And I know you can sit here and say, well, they're it's not comparable to anybody else. This is the best around. That's the going rate. That's the most awesome price. I'm sorry. This point of sale system it's not do or die. I don't have to have it. So if I don't have to have it, why am I going to spend $1,200? And with the other company like ShopKeep, the cash drawer was like $220. The receipt printer was more than that. And then I had to buy a new iPad. No. So, but don't misconstrue me. QuickBooks did not let me down in the end. I remembered, I was like, I already have a card reader from QuickBooks. And by the way, that card reader is free to you if you have QuickBooks. It didn't cost me a thing, and I'll show it to you. And one thing that I really like about this, as opposed to my PayPal here swipe and my Square reader, this does not have to be connected to my mobile device. This does not have to be connected via auxiliary cable or USB cable directly to my iPad. This is Bluetooth, and I love it. Love it. You have two options for this card swipe. You can slide the chip right here in the front here, just slide it down in there, and the strip faces away from you. Or if you're holding it like this, the strip faces towards you. Or you can swipe using this little back thing right here. Like I said, it's completely Bluetooth. And if you put a full charge on this, it'll last a whole week before it dies. Now, I'm going to take you over and show you what you have to use this. And once again, it's free to you if you use QuickBooks. So I'm going to take you off the stand here and show you. And y'all, I'm just going to tell you up front, I am not the know-all be-all of this device. And I'm going to have to tilt it down just a wee bit so we don't have a glare. And I use one of these little little tension things here. You unscrew this, and I think it spreads out about 2.5 inches, because this is a floor joist right here that my table's made out of. So it was wide enough. It opens up wide enough to accommodate it. This is my first generation iPad mini, and this program works just fine on it. But the program you're going to download is QuickBooks GoPayment. And this is what it looks like. So whenever I want to make a sale, and y'all, this is a great way to keep up with your cash sales also. So you have customer payment, which is where basically if your customer has an open account or open balance, you can go over here, choose their name, and put it in, like, say, the invoice number or the reference number, and excuse me, and it'll save this payment as a credit to your customer. This you can read right there. Or I can go back and I can take a payment against an invoice that I've created. Say like this one right here. We can open that up. Click charge. It's going to give you your payment options. Swipe their card. Key in the card. And most companies, I can't remember if QuickBooks does or not. They will charge you a little extra if you manually key in that. Or you can pay with cash or check. So, and it tells you how much change to give back. Like here, you have cash received and then cash change due. I mean, it's just great. Let's go back here. Or I can go to new sale, and it basically opens up a cash register. You can type in on the optional description line, put your price in. It doesn't have quantity on here, so you're going to have, if you have numerous items, either you're going to have to do multiple lines, or you're going to have to do the math, the multiplication before hand. You do have a capability of putting taxes in here. You can preset your taxes based on, in Georgia, it's different per county. And then just key in your amounts. And then you'll review order, and then you'll have the option to charge. Let me see if I can go back here and show you about the taxes here. And this is only for mobile devices, y'all. So you can use it on your iPad, your tablet, or your phone, whichever you prefer. So we're going to go to more here. And this is just where you can have preset services on here. And then you can go to payment options, and here is your sales tax. Here is your hardware where you can link your readers. That's all my private account information, all your user management stuff. And then you have help. And then, of course, your products and services. And you can just go down in your products and services if you want to add something and just put all that great info in. So, you can also, if you have the option on your main, I use QuickBooks Online, so you do have the option to track inventory if you need that. I don't have a need for it. So that was one thing when I was going in and looking for a POS service. I was like, well, I kind of got a leg up because I don't track inventory because I don't have inventory. Pretty much everything that comes in goes out. I don't buy stock to keep because to me, that's a lot of, how do I put this? That's a lot of capital spent out to not know if I'm going to be able to turn around and sell that. I work from my home, y'all. So I have a lot of slow time. I wouldn't say a lot, but I do have my slow periods where people are not coming in. They're not, I mean, I'm technically not allowed to have a storefront within my home per my county and state laws. I'm not allowed to have more than 8 customers here at one time, or I could lose my business license. Check your county and state laws on that as well. And plus, you have to be considerate of your neighbors when you have running a business from your home. I live in a subdivision, so I don't need a lot of high traffic. So I'm going to do a lot of my sales through Facebook and online. But if you're looking for a cheap and easy point of sale software, this is great. It's been doing everything I need. You can email or text your customer a receipt. I couldn't ask for anything more. What else do I need? I'd like to eventually have a locking cash drawer, but right now I just use a locking safety box, and I don't keep it like out in eyesight. I don't take in a lot of cash, but during this season it does get to be, to me, it would be a little bit tempting, you know, for someone. But this has turned out to be great. I used my existing iPad mini. Like I said, it's the first generation. It still works just fine. You know, Apple products are, to me, are hard to break. I got my card reader for free. And if you're wondering about, okay, well, I don't have QuickBooks. How much is that going to cost me? I pay $20 a month for QuickBooks Online. Now, if you use an accountant to do your books at the end of the year, make sure they're familiar with QuickBooks Online, because a lot of people that I talked to when I got ready to do my taxes last year, because previous years I've been doing them myself, but last year was a little bit more complicated, and I kind of got down to tears, and I was like, okay, I'm taking this to somebody to do it, because the laws changed up a lot last year. Just make sure that your accountant is familiar with QuickBooks Online, but it's an automatic draft once a month of $20. And I do believe if you sign up new, there's like, you get so many months at a discounted rate. So just check and see if they're running that right now. But I could not be happier. This is doing everything I need it to do. I didn't have to buy any extra equipment. I didn't have to commit to any long contract. I'm not out thousands of dollars, and I'm able to get my customers in and out with a receipt and keep track of my sales all in one fell swoop. So to me, this was the way that I wanted to go, and I am very content with it. So, but that being said, if you have any questions, like I said, I'm not a QuickBooks guru. I could just only tell you what I know. So if you're interested in it, and you still have questions about it, you know, its capabilities and such, just leave me a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. You guys know I am not so big that I can't answer my viewers' questions. So, but I'm going to let you go on that note. I'll put descriptions down below of everything I've talked about as far as the reader and the program itself, and then you can go make your decision as to what you want to do. So until next time, guys, thanks for stopping by. Oh, if you haven't subscribed, but you think you might want to, just go and click that subscribe button. So, and also there's a little bell out beside it. That's a notification bell. That'll let you know every time I post a new video. And if this is your first time viewing my videos, I sure appreciate you stopping by. We value all our viewers, and we hope that the information that we provide is helpful to you and helps you make, maybe make a hard decision. So, but anyway, I've held up enough of your time, so we'll chat later. Until then, bye.